Hi Crafty friends, it's Rachel here at Scrappy Happy on YouTube. I also go by the same name, Scrappy Happy, over at Instagram. I have been gearing up and getting organized for my crafty projects for 2021. I don't know if any of you are like me, but I find at the start of every year, whether it's in my home or in my craft room, I am eager to get organized and excited for upcoming projects and to reevaluate and purge things in my craft supplies that I don't want anymore. I haven't been, as a result of that, I haven't been doing as many projects here in my room and posting to Instagram like I normally do because I have been busy setting up my craft goals traveler's notebook and organizing my craft room. And you know the saying, it gets worse before it gets better. That's where I'm at these days. I'm hoping my goal by the end of the weekend is to get that all cleaned. Having said that, I'm not here to talk about my scrap room. I am here to talk about an exciting idea that I got from my friend Christian from Christian's Crafty Adventure. You may have seen, and if not, I'll link it down below, my video all about the the PHA Big Tag Crafty Goals 2021 that I posted at the start of this year as my first video that highlights the goals and things that I'm planning on working on for this month, for this year of 2021. And I have 5 goals. So if you're interested in that video, I'll just link it down below. In addition to that, you'll see I pulled this out of my traveler's notebook. So I created this traveler's notebook following Christian from Christian's Crafty Adventures tutorial on how to make a TN. I've done a few adjustments and things for myself to make it a little different in terms of how the elastic goes on the front, but for the most part everything else is following hers. Now this paper stash that I'm using I found in my stash, and it's so old. It's basic gray, and I think it was called the Konnichiwa collection, and I really loved the collection at the time, and I always felt it was not too pretty to make greeting cards out of because it wouldn't capture these beautiful cherry blossoms. So I've turned it into a traveler's notebook, and it is double-sided, and it's kind of neat. I'm using one of the Christian's bead tassels that she made and sent to me back in the spring, and it works perfectly with this paper collection. So it was so neat. I found this after I had already created the traveler's notebook. So the cover of the traveler's notebook, I have now began using the 5mm laminating sheets, and boy does it make a difference for durability. It's just crazy. This is just a punch, and then I used some stamps in my stash, and then I created the 2021 with my Cricut, and then I've had this in my stash probably for almost 6 years, and it says do what you love and love what you do, and I thought that was perfect for the cover of my traveler's notebook. So you open it up, and I do have 3 signatures in it, and there's a little pocket here. This plastic pocket I got from Pia, and I saved those for really special projects. So I can tuck, this is my last one, so I can tuck stickers in there and those sorts of things to get it organized. So I have 3 different signatures. This first one is the biggest one. It used 10 sheets of my Nina Solar white cardstock, and then I have the second signature, which has 10 white pages in it, and then I have my final signature, which has 10 pages in it as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how it's divided up and share a little bit about how I'm organizing it. At the back here, I'm just using one of these pretty binder clips to put some of the extra stash in. And so I'm noticing how much I really like a traveler's notebook cover that has double-sided paper. I don't have a lot of double-sided paper in my stash, so it was kind of fun to use this. And then all the signatures are made with paper from the same collection, and I just love how it coordinates. So this first page here, I decorated it with again, things that I had received from Christian. It's the So Happy Together from Simple Stories. It was so empowering just going into my stash and creating with and using stuff that I have. Like, I would have saved this for a perfect project, but why isn't this a perfect project? I'm going to be using this all year long, and it's going to be nice to look at something that's pretty. So happy projects. So I've broken it down into different themes. I still have a few more themes to design. So I used my letter stamps from my stash to do the title. So that's 3D projects, and I have them all down here. And I left some space because I love finding 3D. I love 3D projects. So I have 2 more pages to record those ideas. One of my goals on my big tag of crafty goals is to complete 4 paper phenomenon tutorials. So I have different tutorials here, projects, paper phenomenon projects that I want to be using. So I'm going to have those there for when I get motivated to do a paper phenomenon project. I also want to make some more traveler's notebooks this year. So here's the themes here. And my other goal for my big crafty tag is 4 mixed media projects. So I did do a section just devoted to that tag there, which was 4 mixed media projects. A one little word, a vision board, a Julie netting canvas, and a mixed media journal. I also really love making mini albums, and I saw a really neat one by Urban Forager on Instagram that was a coffee cup mini. So I put that as a reminder. Will I get to it or not? I'm not sure, but it's still nice to have it down here, and an accordion mini album. So you can see what I've done is I went through many of the pages, and I just used my Sharpie pen here and just did a pretty pattern. I really discovered that really frames the page, and then I just took stickers that I really love from my stash and just went through and used them and decorated it. What was a happy coincidence is I used this happy sticker, and then I decided I want to keep track of the happy mail I send and receive. So I have a page here devoted to all of that. And the other one fun page that just was a happy coincidence because I just went through and randomly put stickers in was this kids craft page. I find kids craft pages on the Pinterest, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. So I wrote them down here to remind myself of projects that I want to do this year. And then I still haven't perfectly set this up. This is going to be my apparel or vinyl projects of things I want to do. This is where I want to sell my selling page of things that I want to sell. And you could just see, this is just basically a whole I still have half a book of places to keep ideas for projects that I want to do. And then the thing that I do in addition to my big tag crafty goals, so this is my overarching goals for 2021, is I set monthly goals for myself. So I've only got the first page set up. So this is my January goals. You can see I already got one done. That was when I filmed the tag video. So this here are all my goals for 2021. I want to finish my December daily. I want to make a 4 bookshelf based on craft purge, coffee cup holders, coffee tin, heart shakers. All that is loaded there of things that I want to do. And I just check them off as I go along. Anything that I don't end up getting, I can bring over to February, or I can just leave it there and come back to it in another month or another time of crafty ideas of things that I want to make. So the idea is I'm going to have a page for each month. Now, originally, I think I had planned to do 1 page for two pages like this and this one for January. I didn't set this one up this way, and I perhaps will have regrets, but I can always do this here. Because what I was thinking of doing at the end is reflection. Because sometimes I set these goals for myself. They're not written in stone. If I don't get to the project, I'm okay with that. It's just to help keep in mind of things that I thought I would like to do. Sometimes maybe a bit like a brain dump. And then add any new projects that I did that weren't on the list here at the end or at the bottom. So we'll see if there's a need for that in January, or if I'm just going to stick to what I'm doing here. So I set up February. These stamps are stamps that I have in my stash. They're from Kelly Creates. I think I have almost every stamp set of hers, and it's just feels so good to be using the stuff that I have to create a beautiful customized Crafty Goals TN. The last section is basically a place to keep track of my shopping of things that I'm buying throughout the year, and if I sell any projects, because my goal number 4 was to set up a craft shop and sell 3 crafty projects. And I'm also realizing through cleaning and purging my room, I don't need to buy a lot more stuff. I really need to use what I have. And so writing it out here of what I'm buying will help make me more accountable to thinking about, am I going to really need those things, and am I going to use them this month? So this little cute little typewriter embellishment was made by my friend Christian, and then this hello came from this Stay Together set. I just put the words and all the dies into this one, so I don't know what the actual name of it is now. And I put that at the front, and then I divided it up. Again, I used planner stamps, shopping, payday, and this is where I'm going to record everything that I have bought for January. And again, I think I did set it up that I can have 2 pages. I don't have big intentions of selling a ton of stuff this month, so I don't need to have any reflection or thoughts or what have you. But if I have some planning of things that are related to selling, that's going to go in this section here. I haven't even really finished decorating it yet. So this was a really fun project to make. As I said, it's about getting me ready to craft this year rather than crafting. And what I loved about it too, and what was so motivating, is I was crafting for me, and using things that I love that I'm going to enjoy throughout the year. So thank you so much for joining me of this episode of Let's Get Crafty. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the content here, please consider subscribing, and also follow me over at Instagram at Scrappy Happy. Thank you so much for joining me of this episode of Let's Get Crafty, and we'll see you next time. Bye.